Hello. Welcome to the premiere, Thursday the 30th of January 2025. Can you believe? I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. Don't forget me. Well, you welcome as well to the premiere, okay? Dogs. Never work with dogs or children, that's what they say. Oh, careful, bird. Thank you. So I'm having a Slurpee, so you have to forgive me or not. Whatever. Who bloody hell cares? Now then. Cheers. So I was going to wait for the latecomers to join us. It's not going to be a long premiere. But instead of waiting, I thought we could all have a treat, couldn't we? So, I don't know how many's here, but those that are here, how would you like tomorrow to fritter away some money? £50 each. £50 each, right? To fritter away, no, you could buy a takeaway. You could, I don't know, just buy a load of chocolate. You can do whatever you want. You can have 50 quid. You can go to the baker's and buy a cream cake. You can pop down the road and buy something else. You can buy something else. That little thing you've always wanted, that little top or whatever, it's 12 quid or 15 quid in some shop. Go and buy that. £50, right? So tomorrow, if you want to do this, it's totally up to you. As I say, I don't know how many's here. Hopefully not too many. But instead of waiting for everybody, let's do this, right? £50 for each person to fritter away tomorrow. And it must be frittered away, a takeaway, whatever. Maybe you could even give some money away. If you see somebody homeless or whatever, give them a £5 out of the 50. So you've got 45 for yourself. Up to you. But the rest, fritter away, buy some rubbish. Okay, so if that's you, if that appeals to you, you think that is a good idea, it's about time, you know, something nice happened in my life, it's bloody January, it's cold, it's dark, it's miserable, £50 sounds very nice, thank you very much. If that's you and you want to fritter away some money, so this is what we do tomorrow. We go down the bank, okay, and you take £50 out of your account and you just fritter it away. So do that tomorrow, okay? And you're very welcome. So, while we're waiting for people to join us, they join us just before we end. You know, people say, oh, I didn't know you were doing a premiere, Bri. Despite me saying on my Facebook and making a video and God knows what else. Oh, I didn't know. Oh, I'd forgotten. Oh, I was a bit late. Well, you've missed out on £50 to fritter away. Where were you? So in this video, this premiere video, hello, by the way, in this premiere video, I will be opening this in a few minutes, which is serious. For once, my videos are not really very serious, are they? Not really. I think sometimes they are. If I'm talking about depression, some form of mental illness, grief, whatever. If I'm talking about something serious, then it's serious. If I'm talking about other stuff, then it's not. This is serious, but it's serious in a fun way. And it is going to be something that you need in your life. And that is guaranteed. Absolutely guaranteed that I'll show you and you're going to say, I need that in my life. I actually do. Now, I made a little video to say there is going to be a premiere coming up. And I said something like, they say you can't buy peace of mind. Right? Which is true to a degree, isn't it? But it's wrong now because of this. This will bring you peace of mind. And for the price of it, I think I paid £7. So I'll open that in just a few minutes. Now that we've got a few more people, hopefully have joined us. Some are disappointed. They've missed out on £50 to fritter away tomorrow. £50. You should have joined on time. Yeah, well, you have to stay now, watch the rest of this, and then go back to the beginning and say, what's he been banging on about? £50 to fritter away. Well, you could have had a much better day tomorrow had you joined this on time. You could have had yourself 50 quid to fritter away, 50 quid for a takeaway, 50 quid to go and treat somebody other than yourself. Anyway, so yeah, I'm having a Slurpee and I'm probably typing hello to certain people, perhaps. So, hello. Say hello to each other. Come on, don't be shy. Hello. Yeah, say hello to each other. It's nice, isn't it? It's a cold start to the year. It's dark. You sat there, a bit chilly and chilling. And then I pop up with a bit of a premiere where we can say hello to each other. And a lot of us do know each other. We've got a little tribe, haven't we? That's what we've got. So there may be one or two familiar faces. And if there are, just say hello. You know, it's a nice thing to do. You know, you didn't spend Christmas with them or the New Year with them. So this is now the start of the year. And let's see what mayhem and silliness this year is going to bring to us and what trouble we can get into or cause. And whatever we do, we're here together, aren't we? That's the thing. That's the whole premise of this premiere and every premiere, is that it brings us together. And no matter if you live with 1,000 people or whatever, it still brings you together with like-minded people. Me for one, but other people. There's a lot of people that watch this channel. Either they're of a certain age. If you go on the demographics and look at the algorithms and all that sort of nonsense, I never really bother. But other channels have, and they've said because of how they look or things they talk about or whatever, then they can break it down. And a lot of people of my age get viewers of my age. Stands to reason, doesn't it? What 11-year-old girl is going to sit and watch the ramblings of Brian and think, oh, that was good? You know, what old lady of 90 is going to enjoy me? She might think, oh, look at that hot piece of stuff. She might say, look at that beard. You never know, do you really? But a lot of people, either they're of a certain age, so we're looking at between 40 and 70 perhaps, or they live alone. Because I think my channel is geared up for people that are on their own, or perhaps they're mostly on their own. Perhaps, you know, their wife or husband or whatever works nights and they find the evenings long or whatever, and people pop in to my premiere and say hello, and they feel connected then. And I've always had this little, like a little tribe, like a little family, like just a little select group. I've never been, as you know, I'm probably bore you now, but I never do all the malarkey that they do on YouTube. You like and subscribe and share. Why would you share any video of mine or anybody else's? Have you ever shared a video? No. Yeah, like and subscribe. I'll tell you what they're saying now, which is great. The algorithms like you to converse with me, so everybody must leave a comment. Everybody leaves a like, all the rest of it. Then the algorithms like that. Well, sod the bloody algorithms. Who are they anyway? I don't bother with that. And the other thing, I've noticed a lot more people saying it, is I don't earn very much on YouTube. I really don't. And it costs so much to make a video. Well, I tell you what, the truth is I don't earn very much. I've got, I don't know, 4,000 or 5,000 subs. It's odd how things work in YouTube land, because out of 4,000 or 5,000 subscribers, you would have thought oh, there pops up a video from Bryce, so 4 or 5,000 people would watch the video. It doesn't work like that. So I get about 200 views. That's it, 200 views. And there's other channels that get maybe 500, 700, 1,000 views, maybe 2,000, 5,000. And they say, oh, I don't earn very much from YouTube and it costs so much to make a video. Well, I don't earn much from YouTube and it costs nothing to make a bloody video. Never has. Never has. I bought the camera because I like to make videos. I bought the camera because I like to take photos. I bought the camera because who doesn't have a camera? Who doesn't have a camera in this day and age? So I didn't think, oh, I must buy a camera for YouTube. I just bought a camera. I charge the battery on it for about a penny or two every now and then. That's it. That's it. That's me job done. So, you know, please share this video with everybody. Please like. Please comment. Please do whatever. It is nice when you comment. I do like to receive a few comments. But if you don't want to, don't. You know, if you watch the video and you've enjoyed it, that's good enough as far as I'm concerned. And I'm not here to make money. I'm certainly not here to say like and subscribe and share. Share my videos. I don't know who to or where or why. Anyway, all that said and done, hopefully everybody said hello. And people have said Happy New Year to each other. And they've said, what you up to? And they're saying, I'm watching the Ramblings of Bryce. So, I'm going to have another bit of my Slurpee and then we're going to get into opening something serious that you will want in your life. I'm sure you will. And it is serious, but serious in a nice way, a fun way. You know, it's sensible probably more than serious. Let's call it sensible, shall we? Cheers again. So, I'm going to go and open this. In this Premiere, I will just show you another quick look at my bathroom, because 2 or 3 people have said, you know, I'd like to see it when it's complete. Well, I think it will be, it will be complete by the 30th. I'm making this prior to the 30th, obviously. That's what I do. I make little bits and then they all get clipped together and then it's a premiere. So I'm making this before the 30th, but on the 30th, or certainly by the 30th, it'll all be done. I've got a few extra little bits in there. I've got some little mirror dog paw prints, which just makes me, the whole room makes me smile. It's silly, but we'll have a very quick look and I can show you a few little bits, new bits and what have you, and you can have a very quick look around. And I think that's something nice to do. So we do that and we'll open up this thing and we'll discuss this and I'll show you it. And I've got some photos to go with this as well, so I can put them on perhaps as we have a chat. And it's all good. Okay, so in real life now, I'm going to take this Slurpee outside and we're going to kick the BALL around in this frost. Get Bodhi tired and what have you, get me tired, and then I've got a few things to do today. That's in real life. But the very next thing you see from me either will be me opening this or the bathroom, whatever. In fact, oh no, you can't. I was going to say you choose. Do you want me to open or the bathroom? Open the parcel, show the bathroom. But it doesn't matter what you put because, excuse me, because I do what I bloody please anyway. No, it doesn't matter what you put because it will be done already. So whatever you see next is what you see next. Doesn't matter what you want. It's not all about you. I love you, really. I do. Okay, so we'll be back in a little bit and you will see the bathroom. You will see this and we will discuss this when I've unwrapped it. And whatever else, whatever sort of silliness and what have you we get up to on this premiere. But basically, I hope everybody's well. I know I've already said it, but Happy New Year. It's very late now because it is the 30th of Jan. But Happy New Year. I hope that if you struggled last year in any way, that those struggles can remain in last year. I think that's always important, is to think, okay, that was then, we can now box that off and leave that in last year. If we haven't dealt with it, do we need to deal with it? Do we? Or can we say, okay, that's not going to follow me into the new year? Even if it has so far, can you now box it off and say, right, I'm not carrying that through this year as well? Can you do that? I think you can on a lot of stuff. So a lot of stuff, box it up, sling it back into last year, and it can stay there forever. You don't need it. You don't want it. It doesn't serve you. It's not going to carry you forward in any way. So put it in a box, seal it up in your mind, throw it back in 2024. We don't live there now. That's done. Okay, back in a sec. Hello. Do you like it? Okay. Hello. Hello, my little lovelies. So, this video has a dual purpose, a dual function. This little section, I'm going to put this up separately for those too lazy to watch the premiere video, and also it is going to be part of the premiere. Does that make sense? I think so. So basically you'll see it anyhow. So this is a dirty pair of glasses. So this is, in life, I'm always on about being individual, unique, our own person and all the rest of it, which of course we are. We are all totally unique. We are just who we are, all living this human experience. But contained with that, or within that human experience, are certain elements that we all have exactly the same. For instance, we'll all be born, you know. We all get given a name. You know, at some stage we will cut our own hair, perhaps. Oh dear. Okay. We may laugh, we may cry, we may do all sorts of a similar nature, or even exactly the same, actually, when we think about it. So, one thing we do die, and here's a serious bit of the video. What did I just say then? One thing we do die. Okay, well, we do die. One thing we do, and here's the serious bit of the video. That's all right, I'll cut that out. You won't even notice it. It'd be bloody seamless. So one thing we do is die. We will all, at some stage, die. So that's the serious bit of the video. Now, I've got this to unwrap. So with that in view, I'm not dying yet. I am dying, we're all dying, but I'm not dying just today. But with that in view, and I'll show you some photos in a bit, with that in view or in mind, I bought this, and I thought this was such a good idea that I really wanted to share it with everybody, because I think you'll be searching for one yourself. So basically this is a journal where you can keep all your important bits and bobs together. So if and when that sad time comes, when you've taken your last breath, and family or friends or neighbours, whoever, has come for your belongings and to sort your little place out and, you know, get things in order, things will already be easier and they'll be in order. I said you can't buy peace of mind. Well, this book gives you peace of mind now, because everything's going to be done. That gives you peace of mind. It's done, it's dusted, it's out the way. But it also gives you peace of mind in death, knowing that you have made it easier for your daughters, your son, your neighbour, whoever, your mum or whoever needs to sort your estate out. So there's lots of different journals that you can get. Basically, it's an end-of-life planner and journal. Mine is called Fuck, I'm Dead, Now What? I like the humour, right? I think we need a bit of humour in our lives, and it doesn't matter whether we're alive or dead, we need a bit of humour. We should laugh, we should be able to smile. So it doesn't matter about that bit, although I will put some photos on of other ones I found. But it's end of life, if you want one, end of life planner. Type that in, okay? End of life planner. So it's the first time I've looked at it because I've only just undone it. The end of life planner, and it's got everything that you're going to need. Your personal records are in there. There's data and documents, important contacts. So this is it, you see. When somebody comes, say somebody comes here, they're going to think, oh, who should I let know that Briar's died? Well, I can put half a dozen people or 10 or 20 people if I wanted to. So you can phone those people, email those people, even write a letter to those people, do whatever. And it's just, it gives me peace of mind that those people will be notified. Anyway, so that goes on, important contacts and what have you. Online accounts, bank accounts, all in one place. You've got passwords to things like Facebook or YouTube. Imagine somebody coming onto my YouTube, they've got my password and they can make a video or even just put a few words up just to say, you know, Briar's kicked the bucket. Briar's sadly departed. Or whatever they say. Oh, you've got insurance, so house insurance, car insurance, whatever. You can keep your documents in here. You can keep letters. You can keep photos. You can keep little mementos, little things you want to give away perhaps. Or you can put, I want to give so-and-so, so-and-so, and that would be found blah, blah, blah. Okay, so you've got my will information. There's so much. There's financial information. You've got all the credit cards and different bits and bobs. Any loans or bills, outstanding bills or bills that you've paid or paid too much. Anything you want anybody to look into. For instance, I pay just over the odds on my electric. So when I get my electric bill, I've always paid over the odds every month. And that is adding up a little bit. And it's about £400. So if I was to die, I don't know, in 5 years' time, but carry on the way I am, that could be £2,000 or £3,000. So that information needs to be in here. This is how serious and sensible and important this little journal is, or a journal similar. So your property information, and it just goes on and goes on and goes on. My end of life wishes. So where do you want to be buried? What songs would you like? You can put all that in here. Would you, I don't know, the stuff, if you can't talk, for instance, and it says here, what I do want at the end of life and what I don't want at the end of life. And it says here what I do want at the end of life and tick all those that apply. I want to be pain-free. I think that applies to all of us. So give that a tick. I know this is sad, but I'd like to die gently and naturally. Slowly, gently, naturally. And it goes on. I want to die, I want to spend my last days in hospital, or I want to die at home, or I want to, you know, lots of I wants, okay, or I would like, and what not to do and things. It's got my wishes for my children, for my relatives, for my neighbours, for my friends, for people that I know, people that I work with. Oh, my wishes for my pets. That's very important for all of us. That's how serious and sensible this book is, really. It's we need to think about our pets. Where are they going to go? What would you like to happen to them? And my letters, that's going to be a lovely one. So I would like to write a few letters and what have you. I did tell a friend about this on the phone the other day, and there's one bit called My Apologies. Now, I will write an apology, but I will just write an overall apology, and it'll be to anybody I've ever upset, made angry, confused, annoyed. To any of them, I am sorry. It wasn't meant to be. It was probably taken out of context because I can say things and people pick it up the wrong way. I don't mean it. By now you should know that my life is about love and about peace and about caring, really. That's my life. But if I've offended anybody, upset anybody, take this letter as an apology. If you can't take it as an apology, well, fuck you, because I'm dead anyway. It's fantastic. So I think everybody needs to have this or similar. I think everybody does. To have everything in one place. That's the important thing for me, to have everything in one place. I don't need to worry about things. It brings peace of mind. Not only that, but whilst I'm living, to have everything in one place. And I was thinking the other night, when this arrives, which obviously now it has, I'm going to put my birth certificate in there. There's various other bits and bobs I've got. I'm going to put all that in there. I don't know if anybody ever wants things like that when somebody dies. I have no idea, but I'm going to put that in there anyway. Letters, photos, different bits and bobs. And if I've got anything to leave or whatever that's a bit bigger, I can think of a couple of things I've got. I'm going to say where they are, within where I live, and who's to have them, and who is to take that item to that person or whatever. And it might sound sad and maudlin and what have you, but do you know what? We're not going to live forever. None of us are going to live forever. Our time will come, and we'll probably be quite glad of that time when it comes, believe it or not, because you get to a certain age with a certain illness and all the rest of it, and you think, do you know, I've done so much now in my life. I'm tired. I've had enough. I'm feeling poorly, whatever. Or you've been diagnosed with an atrocious, horrible disease, and the time has come for you to not feel pain anymore, to let go of that stress and that worry, and to move on. And I believe we move on to a better place. You can make up your own mind. Is it heaven and hell? Do you believe in that? I think that's a bit of a Bible story, but if you want to believe in that, that's great. If you believe in reincarnation, we come back as something, then that's great. If you believe that life is all about lessons, and if we haven't learned enough lessons, then we die, we come back to learn these lessons and put things in order. And if we've learned those lessons, then we transgress into nirvana or nibbana or whatever you want to call it. Depends on which Buddhist sort of philosophies you follow. It doesn't matter what you think and what you believe. The fact is, we are all going to die. And if we can have peace of mind now whilst we're living, thanks to this or similar, and also if we can have peace of mind knowing that when we do die, our loved ones or whoever's got to sort things out can literally go to one book and everything is there. Everything. Every single thing. That's your life. Everything is in there. It's the right thing to do, isn't it? You can make things easy on people. How many people in the world, sadly have died, even people we may know. And you may have sorted their place out or whatever, and you hunted high and low, you couldn't find their birth certificate, and then you finally found it, but that birth certificate wasn't with their house insurance. God knows where that was. And then you couldn't find this, but then that, and it goes on and goes on, and everything's all over the place, and you're not sure of anything, and How many bank accounts did that person have? Well, I don't know, that's a private issue, isn't it, really, between each individual person. Did that person have any assets, anything else? Was there anything in place at any banks, organisations? Was there money or something somewhere else? Did that person buy into premium bonds or have an ISA or some account somewhere else, a building society account as well as a bank account? Did that person have shares in something? Did that person buy gold? Where is that gold kept? Everything is in that book. Everything. It's going to make your life easier. It's going to make their life easier. So that's it. That's what I wanted to show you. So that will do for this video. If it's a standalone video, thank you. If it's not, then we are part of the Premiere, and we'll be back in a bit. But I will show you a few little bits and bobs that I've done in the bathroom, and we can have a chat. But let me know what you think about this book. I think it's incredible. I think it's fantastic. And all you've got to do really is have a look for End of Life Planner. Okay, thank you. We'll be back in a bit. So I'm in my dressing gown. I was watching on YouTube. I watch these things sometimes. These what's the difference between America and the UK? And this woman was on about what they call a robe, R-O-B-E. Well, over here we call it a dressing gown. And she said when she moved to the UK, I think she's married, yeah, she is. She's married to a bloke from the UK. And he puts his dressing gown on, like I have, if he's a bit bloody chilly, but he puts it on over his clothes. Well, so have I. So we wear our dressing gown whenever. She said the only time you wear a robe normally in America is to and from the bathroom. Which is great, you know, it keeps you warm, I suppose, keeps your modesty in check, things like that. But we wear it to keep warm. So yeah, I'm wearing my, whatever you want to call it. I call it a dressing gown. People call it a house coat, maybe, or a, Americans, as I say, call it a robe. But whatever. I bought it oversized so it wraps around me 1.5 times. And it's lovely. I've had it, I don't know if it's 2 years or 3 years now, but I wear it quite a lot. First thing in the mornings. Anyway, so it's freezing cold, which is why I'm wearing my robe, but I've looked on Google and YouTube and things like that, and And I'm just slowly, I know I'm slow compared to the rest of the world, but I'm just waking up to the LA fires. Awful. It seems like half the world is burning, half the world is freezing. But the LA fires, they say there's something like 10 to 12,000 properties destroyed. 10,000 or so homes, people's homes destroyed. 11 deaths so far. It's awful, terrible. People have lost everything. In a fire, you just lose everything, don't you, really? But they reckon it's caused by winds. There was some form of a fire or whatever, but the winds have, I don't know, whipped up the fire. Not really sure how it can happen if all the houses are concrete and steel and brick and, I don't know, maybe there's some wooden structures, do you think? Something like that. I've watched some of the aerial footage, and again, that's odd. It's always a bit odd because I've always said I've got an open and a curious mind, but my mind is quite skeptical at times. And I'm looking at this stuff, this drone footage, and I'm seeing completely obliterated properties, completely 100%, cars literally melted to the road, and then next to him a little bush. He was all green and healthy, and I don't know, I've seen lots of trees that look fine. It just seems weird. I don't know what I'm saying or what I'm thinking or whatever. You can only go on what you're told, I suppose. There's wildfires and wind. But things that are left are very strange, I think. Bit like, do you remember the fires a few years ago? Was it Haiti? How do you say that word? Hawaii way, anyway. That was all very odd, especially the colour blue, If you painted your roof blue, your house didn't catch on fire. If you had a blue car, it didn't catch on fire. And in these fires, these LA fires, there's a blue, I think it's either table tennis or snooker or pool or something like that you can see from the drone. The house is gone completely, but next to it, the pool table was fine, but the pool table was just made of wood. But it was blue. So who knows? I don't know. So yeah, that's terrible. Even worse than that, I went on Google and I just typed in how many homes have been destroyed. And do you know what? Page after page after page, it says how many celebrities have been affected. So I typed in there how many people have lost their homes. And it says 32 celebrities have lost their homes. So I said, how many people? What are you bloody, just, normal? How many people? You can't find out. They now say it's between 10 and 12,000. But you click on it to see the figure, and it says how many celebrities again and again, and it page after page after page. Like ordinary people don't matter, and I suppose they don't. It's LA. It's we live in this sad world, don't we, really, that things matter to some, things don't matter to others. And if there's a celebrity or Bry, then we talk about the celebrity. Bugger Bry, who cares about Bry? So yeah, that's awful, terrible. The other thing in the news, a massive thing in the news, is this HMPV, which is another virus. I just had a chat with my neighbour, and he's moved his car because it's so icy and frosty and horrible here. He's moved his car into the sun, and he said, I've just moved my car. He said, my wife thinks she's got that HMPV, the virus, and in case she has to go to hospital. And I said, well, don't worry too much, I said, because it's a little bit, things have been slightly amplified as normal. Currently there's apparently seven people in India with the virus. How many people live in India? I don't know. you know, India's massive, isn't it? You know, there's millions and millions and millions. That's just in one city, multi-millions. They literally walk shoulder to shoulder. How on earth do people get privacy when they live in a place like that? But whatever. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. And also, when you really look at it, what HMPV is, it's been known for 300 years in the world, you know, and people have had it every winter for 300 years. Mostly, it's absolutely fine. Again, it only affects you really. I mean, yeah, it makes you feel like you've got a heavy cold, but it only affects you if you've got, like I have, heart disease or lung disease. So yeah, I have to be a bit careful, I suppose, but then I don't see a lot of people, so I'm not overly worried. And, you know, I think COVID and the flu and HMPV, they're just all the same, really, just variants of it. So I really wouldn't worry too much if you get it, or you know, somebody's diagnosed with it in your family or whatever. Try not to worry. It is what it is. And if you go on the World Health, I don't like these lot, but anyway, WHO, the World Health Organization, and they clearly state on there that, you know, this HMPV is at a very, very low rate worldwide. In fact, an all-time low. Now, the press are building it up and building it up and building it up. But the proper medical field and what have you say, don't worry. So you take your choices, you do whatever you do whatever is best for you. But we live in a world where we can be quite sceptical. Now, this is leading me on to something else. I think we've recently found out that King Charlie, is charging like schools and hospitals and the RNLI and other organisations to use plots of his land or to drive over his land. There's one of them, I think it's an ambulance or something, has to drive over a piece of road, and he charges them a couple of £1 million per year. It's awful, isn't it? You know, and then we've got politicians conning, thieving, robbing. Look at Keir Starmer. They call him two-tier Keir or free gear Keir. Free gear. God, he doesn't even pay for his own haircuts or glasses or socks, you know. He's got people that buy everything for him. Anyway, so yeah, we live in a sceptical world. We live in a world where, you know, you do get a little bit caught up in it. I do. And I end up not trusting people sometimes. But I bought a box set. I used to love a band called Marillion back in the 83, 4, 5, 6 maybe. The 80s. 83, 84, 85. The lead singer, Fish, was amazing. He left after about 5 years, and they got a new singer called H, which is, I think his name is maybe Stephen Hogarth. I don't know who he is really, but I tried to continue to get into him, and I just couldn't really. For me, it was wrong, but for me, I think the singer normally makes the band. We've got one at the moment, haven't we? Linkin Park. Well, Chester was the band as far as I'm concerned. You know, you could have changed anybody else in the band, but you can't change him. And sadly, he committed suicide, and they've now replaced him with a female vocalist who's not a singer. She's not a singer at all. I would say she's a vocalist. She's got, she screams a lot. And it don't work. For me, it don't work. Anyway, so, yeah, they replaced Fish with Hogarth, or H, as they used to call him, or do call him, or whatever. And I followed Fish's career, and I liked most of his albums to a degree. I preferred him with Marillion, has to be said. But the stuff on his own was just lovely and amazing. He's a poet, really, Fish. His real name is Derek, I think it's Derek William Dick. But he wants to be known as Derek Dick. You might as well be known as something, so he's Fish. And he Fish because of his weird makeup that he used to wear. But yeah, I think he's a really good artist, and he's been there for a long, long time. He's got his last album out now. It's a German name, I can't remember. It's something like Will Schmidt, something like that. which I don't go a lot on, but he's retiring after this album. He's, that's him done really, which is fine. But anyway, cut long story short, I bought a box set and it's called The Mask, and it's got 4 CDs in it, but they're all double, so it's 8 CDs. It's a lot of material on there, and there's other bits and bobs in there. It's I should have kept it out, but anyway, whatever. So it's a big box set. And I got it from Discogs, if you've ever heard of Discogs, Discogs. I got some bargains really from there over the years. Just watch the postage if you ever go on there. Be a bit careful. So anyway, I ordered it, and the reason why I ordered it, this guy said this is just like mint condition. The discs are unplayed, in my opinion. This is what he said, in his opinion. They're unplayed. You cannot fault it, inside and out, perfect. And I thought, my God, that's cheap. So I quickly looked all over Amazon and eBay and other places and what have you. And yeah, it's about £40 to £50 cheaper than anywhere else. And I thought, I'm having that. So bang, I got it. And got a message from him to say thanks very much. I'll post over the next day or two, so that's great. Didn't hear anything for about a week, just over a week. So I said to him, I'm still waiting on this, because you can send messages. So I sent him a message saying I'm still waiting on this box set, and then he said, I'm still abroad at the moment. Well, hang on, he's already said to me I will post this in the next day or two. So he clearly wasn't abroad. Well, then he wasn't. So he said, I'm still abroad at the moment. He said, I won't be back for a week. Is that okay? So I said, yes, it is okay now that I know. Thank you for letting me know. However, you did say I'll post it in a day or two. So you must have been in the UK at that time. Then he came back and he said, yes, I forgot to post it. Well, that's great. Then he went abroad. Now he's got waylaid abroad. So he'll be back in about a week. So I said, okay, well, please keep in touch. Let me know what's going on. So 10 days went on. I heard nothing again. And I thought, this is a con, So you get your money back from Discogs anyway. So I said, what's going on? And he said, I meant to contact you. Well, he didn't bother. I meant to contact you. He said, I stayed a few extra days, but I'm leaving here tomorrow, so I'll be back in the UK and post it as soon as possible. So I said, okay, so you're back in the UK Friday? And he said, yes. I said, okay, so could you post it Saturday? And he said, I'll post it on Monday when the post office opens. Well, it opens on Saturday, but I said to him, okay. So Monday came and went, didn't hear from him. So contacted him Tuesday, because I should have got it really Tuesday. And I said, no surprise, but I haven't heard from you, no update from you, no parcel from you, no tracking number from you. And he came back to say, I have posted. Oh, no, it's ready to post. Ready. Well, it's been ready for bloody 6 weeks. It's ready to post. So I'll post tomorrow. Sorry for the delay. Well, he didn't say what the delay was about, but whatever. I said, okay, send me the tracking number tomorrow, please. And he said, yes. So tomorrow comes and goes. So does the next day. So I sent him a message saying, just cancel it. I'll have the full refund, which I didn't want, So I was going to get like £28 back. But, there's 70 quid really elsewhere. So I wasn't going to buy it again. I was just going to let it go, unfortunately. But, I said I'll have a full refund. And he came back and he said, yes, by all means, you can have a full refund. I can do that now for you. Or if you're prepared to wait another day, and I will post it tomorrow. And I said, I will wait, but tomorrow never comes, does it? You've been posting it tomorrow for weeks. So he said, I'll definitely post it tomorrow. Anyway, so I woke up in the morning and he said, it's posted, here's your tracking number. So I should have looked at the tracking number, but I sent him a message, thanks very much. Anyway, I decided that I would put the tracking number into the system, and it says null and void, doesn't exist. So the tracking number doesn't exist. So there's a bit on there and it says if the tracking number doesn't work, what to do. So number one is to contact the seller. So I contacted him and I said the tracking number doesn't work, thinking he'd either not bother with me or say I'll post it tomorrow or whatever, because by this time I'm very sceptical. And he came back and he said, I'm really sorry about that. I gave you the wrong tracking number. All it was a 6 instead of a 5. Genuine mistake, I think, So I said, all right, so I should receive this tomorrow then. Anyway, I never received it the next day, but I've received it today. So 3 days in the post. And I open it up and it's immaculate, absolutely inside and out. The CDs have never been played. That bloke was telling the truth all the way along, I think, now. But he was just a bit useless. I suppose it was cold and he couldn't be bothered to go down the post office. I've no idea, but it does make you sceptical, doesn't it, really? When you from the king down to the politicians, down to big business, down to the government and things like that, down to some seller on Discogs, it just makes you think, I wonder. So my advice is to not be sceptical if you can. Maybe it pays to be a little bit sceptical, but anyway, cheers. Yeah, we've got to trust people if we can, haven't we? Okay, we'll be back in a sec. Hello, I am just back from a Thai massage. So, desperate for a Slurpee, I tells you. Cheers. Wow, that's lovely. So we're going to bring this premiere to a close shortly. I'm going to show you the bathroom just briefly ish in a minute, but prior to getting there, just want to tell you how lovely some people can be. So I'm just back from my Thai massage. When I went to book my next one, which I always do, prior to this, right, let's get it right. I book an hour, always at 10 o'clock. And sometimes she finishes at 11 o'clock. Sometimes she finishes at 2 or 3 or 4 minutes past 11. I think once was about 7 or 8 minutes past 11. Pretty good. So, as I say, I always book at 10 o'clock. So, I was being massaged and I thought, this feels like well over the hour. It just feels like, because she was doing other things. And what I mean by that was, for the first time ever, she got me to lay on my side, then my other side, while she did my neck. She said, your neck is always locked up. And I said, I know. It's been like it for years. So anyway, she spent a long time extra. I was thinking she spent a long time extra. Anyway, when she finished, she said, she calls me Bay, bless her. I did tell her it's Bri, but I've told her about 20 times. So, okay, Bay. She says, we all done now. You get dressed, I see you outside. I said, okay. So that's it. I get up and I get dressed and sort myself out, and I go outside to book the next appointment, which I always do. And she said, you want to come again? You want to come again? I said, yes, please. So this time it's 17th of next month. I always get it around the 15th, but the 15th being a Saturday, so I've got it on the 17th, which is a Monday. So I said the 17th, please, of next month, if we can. And she said, let's have a look. Anyway, she had a look, and she said, yeah, 10 o'clock again? And I said, yeah. And then she said, Bay, if you can, next time you come for 9:30? So I said, yeah, I can do, that's no problem. And she said, and I massage you start at 9:30. So I said, okay, because it doesn't open till 10. So I thought, yeah, a bit fruity. Anyway, so she said, yeah, come at 9:30 and I massage you till 11. And I charge you just for the 1 hour. And I said, really? That's very kind of you. She said, and every time we do that, 9:30, finish at 11, charge 1 hour. And I said, well, that's really lovely of you. And she said, you have a nice heart. I don't know if she knows that. You have a nice heart and you smell nice. How lovely. I smell nice. I smell a patchouli, but you have a nice heart and you smell nice. Well, how lovely. In other words, I think she says she enjoys massaging me. But anyway, so I get there now at 9:30, finish at 11, and I just pay for the 1 hour. And I said, okay, well, that's really nice of you. Thank you. And while she was booking me in, she said, I sometimes have clients and I have to start at 11. And I always think, oh, I want to spend more time with Bay. Bless her. So she just wants to spend a bit of time with me. And it's not what you think. She's a married lady. She's a lovely woman, but she is a very professional woman. But I just thought how lovely people can be sometimes, you know. We do live in a world, you can look at horrible things going on with stabbings in London or whatever, you know, and just awful things are going on. But there's a lot of good out there, a lot of lovely people, a lot of kind hearts. And sometimes I meet them, and when I do, you know, it goes a long way, doesn't it, to create harmony on this planet, I think, really, you know, because in turn we spread that little bit of love, that little bit of joy, that little bit of peace and that little bit of harmony. We spread it to others in our own way. We may not give somebody a massage for a bit longer, but we may do something else because we feel good about ourselves. We feel good about living today. Today is a good day, you know, so if I can do some good to somebody, for somebody, about somebody, around somebody, I will be. So how lovely is that? Now, when I was travelling as well, I booked into this particular site, and actually it was up north of England, and all went well. There was no problem, and the woman showed me to me pitch. I got myself sorted and what have you. And the following day, I heard from a friend who said, I've sent you something to the site where you've gone. It should be there today, so could you check? And I said, yeah, will do. And I had a walk around the to the office, up to the office area, and the same woman was in there, and she was all pleased to see me, big smiles and what have you. And I said, you all right? And yeah, she said, no, I've got something for you. And I said, well, that's why I'm here. I said, a friend just let me know. And it was my birthday. And I said, it's actually my birthday. She said, I know. I said, how do you know that? Being a bit stupid. And she said, because you've signed in, you know, and it's on your forms and everything else, you know, it's a proper site that was on for a change. And I said, oh, yeah, of course, you know. Anyway, that was that. And then I saw her, the same woman, I saw a little bit later. And we had a little chat, just a general sort of chat. Oh, isn't it a nice site? What a lovely day, you know. Then the following day, I was washing up on the outside bit, and she came along on her bike and stopped, and she walked down the little bit to where I was washing up and stood there chatting, and she said, look, we know you're full-time. I said, oh, okay, because I'm not bothered, So I said, oh, okay. And she said, now, if you like, she said, what we can do, because we're all full-time, obviously. She said, what we can do, if you like, you're only allowed on the site for 28 days, but we can say that we've moved you to a different pitch for 2 days. You have to be off for 48 hours. But you stay on your pitch, there's no problem. We can turn the electric off on something, she said, but you still have electric. So you have full electric, but you don't pay for it. And then you book again for the 28 days. So you get another 28 days out of that. And we can do that for 3 or 4 or 5 months if you want to, if you wanted to be here that long. She said also, think it through, because what we can do, instead of charging you for 28 days, we can charge you for 14 days and you can still stay for the 28 days. But really, you're staying for the whole month, the 30 days or 31. And I said, really? I said, God, that's kind of you. No, I had no plans on staying there very long, really. But she was so lovely, and she said, well, why not help people? She said, you're clearly full-time, we're full-time, She said, 12 years ago, I was doing the same as you, and I came here just for a bit of a winter break, for a few weeks, and they said, do you want a job? And I said, well, I don't know. And she said, well, you can have that pitch over there. Anyway, so she moved her motorhome into the pitch. She bought a caravan as well, and she kind of lives a little bit in both. She has put this great big 7-foot fence around it, so she's well out of the way kind of thing. Nobody interferes with her. And she's got a little garden in there and stuff like that. She said, I'm sorted now for life. She said, I don't travel, I don't go anywhere. She said, but I love this area and this is me. So I think she was saying in a way that we could get you a job working here. I don't know, because she never said those words, but what she did say is what I've already said. They can charge me 14 days rather than 28. I don't have to move pitch, but they can pretend that I have. They can turn the electric off and I can have free electric. I mean, God almighty, what a lovely woman, what a lovely situation that would be. However, for the right person, it would be right. When I was travelling, I was a travelling traveller. There's a lot that are not, and that's fine. They call themselves travellers, but they don't go anywhere, really. Or they go to 1 or 2 places. That was never going to be me. Right from the outset, I went from kind of Devon to... that's about as far as south I went. I went over to Wales. I went that way to like Norfolk. I went to Cumbria. I went up to Scotland. I did, and everywhere in between, all the shires, Gloucestershire, Oxfordshire, Berkshire, loads and loads of different places, but also dotted along from Weymouth to Poole to Swanage to Worthing and different places, all the way along there. It was great. That's what I wanted to do. I mean, the whole idea for me of travelling was to travel. Yeah, okay, it's nice to have a week or two. You sort of put your feet up and you chill out, and I could do some art or some writing or do what I'm doing and take some photos, chill out with my little dog and not do a lot. And that was lovely. But when you get an offer like that, it messes with your head in a way, because you think, my God, I could be here for 6 months or a year. And really, it would only cost me a couple of months, something like that, free electric and stuff, possibly a job, possibly, I don't know. So I had to really think it through, because I wasn't staying. And I mean, what I came up with in the end was, I will just stick to what I said I would do, and that is to travel, really, because that's what I wanted to do. As much as that offer was so lovely, so kind, it wasn't ideal for me. And sometimes you have to say that, don't you? You could look at me and think, well, what an idiot. You could live there virtually rent-free, or you could have possibly got a job, and you would have got a pitch, you could have lived there forever. Didn't want to live there forever. I didn't want to stay on a pitch forever. That's not what I was about. Yes, it's about what a lot of people are about. I know somebody tell a very quick story. And he's from, I think he's from Slough, near to London. Or at least he went back there and worked for the first year, so I don't know. But anyway, he set sail from where he lived, London way, something like that. And he had a few nights dotted around, and he had a little look around, and that was late summer. Then he went back to Slough. I think he said Slough. There's a massive warehouse. They deal with Christmas stuff. So he was wrapping things and packing things like crackers, hampers, all manner of different things to do with Christmas, you know, I suppose Christmas decorations. I don't know what he was doing, but anyway, he said not only was it fairly good money, but there was a park up there. He could park around the back of the building and there was no problem, all safe and secure. So he did that for a couple of months, then he went to set sail again. But, of course, after Christmas you got bad weather, and he found himself in Wales and the weather was absolutely atrocious. So he'd only done a little bit of travelling, really, like a couple of months maybe. But he went to Wales and he went down this track in the end and didn't realise, but it was a farm. It was a farmhouse and what have you. And he made such a hash of turning around that the farmer came out and said, "What are you up to? You know, it's a private road." And he said, "I'm really sorry." He said, "It's pissing down with rain, it's misty, whatever. I really couldn't see." And he said, "Well, what are you doing? Are you looking for somewhere to stay?" And he said, "Well, I suppose, yeah, ultimately." And the farmer said, "Well, that barn there is empty. There's electric in it, there's water in it. You could plug in there if you wanted to." And matey boy said, "Well, I suppose I could, thank you very much, you know." He said, "I'll be gone in the morning, obviously, you know." And the farmer said, "Oh, no." He said, "That's not what I want. That's not what I mean." He said, "Do you want a job?" And matey boy said, "Well, I don't know why." And he said, "All I want is a bit of security. So, you know, you're visible, you got your lights on, maybe you're playing your music, you're walking your dog or whatever you're doing, you know, you're in and out, stuff like that, and you keep an eye on the place." And they've cut a window in the barn so that even if you're in your motorhome or caravan or whatever you live in, you can see all the way down his driveway. So as soon as anybody comes on the driveway, you're out, you know, because he'd been robbed a couple of times, apparently, this old guy. But also he used to take his missus on holiday 2 or 3 times a year, and the farm was completely empty of people. So he said, basically, that's what I'm looking for. He said, "And if you want to do a day or a couple of days work on the farm, I can pay you." And he cut a long story short on this one as well, but that's exactly what he did. So he moved in, and when I met him in Wales, and he was in the Land Rover, and we was chatting and what have you, and he said, "Do you know, I should do the same as you years ago, about 20 years ago." And I said, "All right." He said, "Well, not really the same as you." And then he told me the story. And he'd only done a month or 2 of travelling, and he ended up in Wales, beautiful view, got a little job, security on a farm, and that was him done. He plugged in, so he's got heat, he's got water, he's got a roof over his head, because it's a barn with a roof, obviously, you know, so there's no wind or anything that gets in there. He was protected all the way around, and he still lives in his motorhome. He said it's got 4 flat tyres after all these years, and it probably don't go. He said I haven't started the engine for years, but it doesn't make any odds. He said inside it's totally dry, perfect inside and out, really, because it's been protected for like 20 odd years. And I said, "Are you happy with that?" He said, "More than happy." He said, "What I wanted from where I was living, I wanted a complete change to my lifestyle." That's what he wanted, and of course that's what he found, that's what he got. Whereas we all do travelling for different reasons. I did travelling for lots of different reasons, but one of the reasons was I wanted to explore the UK. I wanted to see where I live. There's loads of people that say, "Do you know, I've never been to Cumbria, I've never been to Scotland, never seen Cornwall, never..." And I think, well, this is your country, you know. And that to me is a little bit sad, but certainly it was sad for me. That's what I wanted to do, was travel and see the country that I live in. So it wouldn't have been right for me. Had I found that bloke in Wales, it wouldn't have been right for me. Each to their own, but how lovely of that woman to offer that place, you know, that pitch. How lovely of that farmer to offer my mate his pitch and his job and all the rest of it. But how lovely of this Thai woman. So I've got to go in on the 17th and forevermore, going for 9:30. And I get half an hour free. How lovely. Bless her. Just thought I'd say that. There are lovely people in the world. There really are. Okay, so thank you for joining me on this premiere. It's been a longer one than I thought. We were only going to have a short one, but buy a book. Get yourself on eBay. Buy my poetry book, 100 poems. You won't regret it. For the price, you will not regret it. It's on eBay. Go and have a look. The links are in the description box under every single video. Just click that and away you go. I will show you the bathroom briefly-ish, give it 5 minutes or whatever. But I think I won't do any talking. I think I'll just put music over it because I might need the light on. It's a bit dull. If I put the light on, that means a fan comes on. Who wants to bloody hear that? So, I think we'll go and do that now. So this is the end of the premiere. It's got another 5 minutes to run, but this is the end of the premiere as far as we're concerned. So we will say our goodbyes to each other. Goodbye. And thank you for joining me. Thank you for being there. And thank you for 2024. All your lovely comments and your likes and stuff like that. It was a good year in some respects, and it ended not great with my health really. I suppose my mental health really, if we're honest. But as you see, that is much, much better now. I'm on a bloody great big a huge amount really of antidepressants, but whatever, it seems to be working. I'm not zombified, as you can see. I can still feel, I can still laugh at something funny, I could cry at something sad. I just feel better, just better. That's all I ever want in life, isn't it really? I don't really feel happy. I'm never going to feel happy. I think I come to the conclusion of that many, many years ago. My happiness level is not even happiness, it's content. I am content with a lot of things in my life. And little things give me a very sporadic, I suppose, a little burst of whatever happiness might be. If I get a box set, I got Tanita Tikaram a little while ago. I don't know if you remember her from the 80s, but anyway, Tanita Tikaram, look at all that lot, eh? Loads and loads of tracks on there, absolutely wonderful. I love her. She has got a dull voice. They said that she's not a great singer. Well, maybe she's not. But whatever she's got, you don't have to be a singer. You can be a vocalist, can't you, really? And maybe she's a vocalist. But it works for me. When I got that gives me a little bit of a buzz. So maybe that's a sort of a happiness sort of thing. But it's probably more contentment than anything, really. Quite happy with that. So, anyway, this year, hopefully this year is going to be much, much better for me, for you, for everybody else. And let's have a good one, 2025. So thank you again for joining me. Thank you for being there. And I hope you've enjoyed this premiere. Maybe you've learnt something, or you just wasted a few minutes and you've enjoyed it. Or maybe you're about to go over to eBay and buy my poetry book. Maybe. Take care then, and we'll see you in the bathroom in a minute. Take care and be well.